Hi guys, this is Ken again, and I want to quickly make a little video here and show you how the tomatoes have progressed, how we have been able to produce, develop and produce lots and lots of tomatoes in a very tight space. This place, we have 3 raised beds in here. The first one measures about 8 feet by 3 feet, and the second one measures 4 feet by 3 feet, as well as the third one. So what we did was we bought this stuff last year, and then we didn't want to fill the whole thing up with compost, so added we grabbed all the stuff we have here, all the wood scraps, the hay, grass cuttings, leaves that came over from from the fall. We grabbed all those things and then basically dumped them underneath. We dumped them underneath the beds, and then we added our compost. I think we put in about we together we put in about 1.2 to 1.4 yards of cubic yards of compost in here. You can see that is actually not that we didn't actually quite fill up the bed. I guess the wood is now decaying and going down slowly, and so the compost is also, because the compost is these are all essentially also leafy materials, so they are now decaying and going down. But I want to show you how we have been able to throw in all these tomatoes in here. We planted about 38 to 40 tomatoes in here. Very tight, very densely planted, but you can see how the result is speaking for itself. We have so many tomatoes. Actually, we just you can see this. It looks like I have the first ripe tomato for the season. So I'm going to be grabbing this in about a day or two. But look, just see for yourself what we have here. Lots of tomatoes. So many tomatoes. So many tomatoes. Lots of them. Several of them. Look at that one. Looks like a small pyramid right there. Can see that? The key to what we do is that you can see that I can actually sleep under these tomatoes, and then I can actually grab a pillow, sleep under these tomatoes and sleep in there. Basically what we do is we cut the leaves. As soon as they come, we chop off the leaves, we cut them up to the first fruit level, and then as we harvest going up, we keep cutting them. So what you can now see, the fruits are just out there on their own, lying on their own, cleaned out. They're getting the sun. There is no risk to getting diseases. Tomatoes actually do have a lot of diseases, but we're not running that risk here because of the way we clean them out. We clean out the leaves, just leave the top leaves, so the photosynthesis will keep going, but the plants will be relatively free from diseases. These are all organic tomatoes. We use organic fertilizer. We also apply fish fertilizer, which has actually been very good to these plants. Our type of tomatoes, these are all indeterminate. You have 2 types of tomatoes. You have the determinate tomatoes and then you have the indeterminate tomatoes. With the determinate tomatoes, they just come the first. That's what you buy from the stores. If you actually buy tomatoes from the stores, most of the time you buy the determinate ones, because basically they come, they give you the tomatoes, you know, all at once. You don't really get that much, but you get the first wave of tomatoes, and then the plant will slowly start dying. But here we plant the indeterminate ones. You can see how tall they are. They're actually way taller than me. We have, let me show you this one right here. Hold on. This one right here is actually, look at them. See how tall these are? Look at that. So these are almost, should probably be a good 9 feet right up there. So they are all taller than, you see, this is the bed I built for them. But these tomatoes have gone way beyond the bed. My hope is that they will now, when they start fruiting on the top, because they start fruiting from the lower end and then coming up. But once they start fruiting from the top, they will now settle on this bed, and the fruiting will continue from there. You can see that. Let's see. So, the key to growing these tomatoes in such a tight space, let me show you this. You can see this raised bed right here. You can see how small it is. Let me make sure the camera captures the whole thing. You can see how small it is. It's actually 4 feet by 3 feet. But look at what we have here. Look at all the tomatoes that we have here. We planted this essentially. Look at the distance between one and the other is essentially, you know, about 11 to 12 feet. But look at it. We have tons of tomatoes. All of them very happy tomatoes producing. See that? All of them producing. And the key to it is we plant deep. We plant our tomatoes very deep. We plant as deep as we can get it down, 10 to 12 inches down, and then we prune them. We try to grow tomatoes. We avoid growing leaves of the top tomatoes. So the key to it is just to prune. We prune them. The tomato will be able to direct its energy to the fruits, and then to its growth, instead of trying to feed the leaves that really do nothing. But don't forget, the leaves actually will that's the point that contacts the sun, but you don't need that much leaves for the tomato to keep going. So once you understand that concept, you can actually do a lot of produce a lot of tomatoes at a very tight spaces, high density production. Basically cut them down. I am not very sure you will be able to do this if you plant the determinate ones, which are the ones that you buy from the stores, because those ones, they normally give you all the shoot at once, so they need all the branches and all the energy they can get to be able to give you that maximum production and start withering off. But here we are not getting what we are looking at here. Is just the first wave of the tomatoes that we're getting. Now we'll have several more waves of tomatoes coming up. This is just the first line. You can see all of them are the same line. The first wave of tomatoes coming up. We're going to have a second wave. We are going to have subsequent waves, and it will just keep going this way. So these are what we have. And let me show you this one. After we planted on the beds, we had tons of tomatoes left, so we decided to throw them on the ground. And let me show you. You know, this is, look at that. This one's on the ground. You can see that these are on the ground. You know, there's no bed in here. We only apply the organic fertilizer to it. But the key again is to plant as deep as you can. Look at that. It has like 5 big, massive. That should definitely weigh at least 2 to 3 pounds right there. And this is just the first production, which will likely continue like this going forward. we have them. These are all the ones I'm showing you right now. These are all on the ground, but you can see how big the tomatoes are. Just one tiny little thing, but look at that, how it's all loaded with tomatoes. um, I guess by next week I'll start grabbing this. Yeah, I'll start grabbing this since they've started the heat. All this heat wave is now ripening them. So we're about to start, getting the fruit of our harvest, of our efforts here. Um, and we better start early because we have so much tomatoes. We need to be able to eat this. But I don't have I don't have a place to store them. We do can them. We are going to do a lot of canning, but even then, I still have tons of tomatoes, lots of them, lots of them. And why am I doing this? Because I want you to be able to do it yourself. If you have the space and find a little time, doesn't really take that much time. I mean, you still have to, attend to it and look at it every now and then. But this is easily doable by anybody. Very easily doable. Doesn't take that much space. We put this around the fence and stuff, and the reward is massive. So, thank you. Thank you for coming today, looking at our video. That's at Fun and Food Gardeners. We basically try to use whatever we can, try to innovate, try to find which better ways we can be able to put food on the table, and you can do that. If you like our video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll be able to give you more videos from the rest of your plants. Thank you. Bye bye.